Breaking: Trump about to drop presidential hammer on Obama after he tried to take over investigation, by Teresa Monroe Hamilton for RWNofficial.com. More and more is coming out about Spygate. The Obama administration tried to take over the FBI's investigation of the Trump campaign, according to The Hill's John Solomon. He covered it last night on Hannity's show and then wrote on it extensively at The Hill. Solomon claims that the FBI began spying on members of the Trump campaign to gather the intelligence that ultimately justified the collusion investigation weeks or even months before the FBI had a formal predicate. If true, the whole thing was cooked up and premeditated. It was indeed a pre-planned coup, and President Trump is about to drop the presidential hammer on all of them. That's very important. The rules say you can't use sources until you have a predicated investigation. The predication is July 31st, 2016. Solomon told Hannity. The investigative reporter said he had sources and documents backing up his claims that he would be making public in his report in The Hill on Friday, and he did just that. Solomon stated of his well-researched piece was this: the bridge to the Russia investigation wasn't erected in Moscow during the summer of the 2016 election. It originated earlier, 1,700 miles away in London, where foreign figures contacted Trump campaign advisors and provided the FBI with hearsay allegations of Trump-Russia collusion. Bureau documents and interviews of government insiders reveal. These contacts in spring of 2016, some from trusted intelligence sources, others from Hillary Clinton supporters, occurred well before FBI headquarters authorized an official counterintelligence investigation on July 31st, 2016. The new timeline makes one wonder. Did the FBI follow its rules governing informants? A very good question. And of course, the answer is a resounding no.
Deep State from The Hill, John Solomon. Fox News contributor Sarah Carter. John, we start with you. You have a huge story you are about to unfold. I've got some, well, let's just say a preview of coming attractions here. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so I'm putting the finishing touches on a column I think will come out tomorrow, and I will reveal two really important things. The efforts to begin targeting and reaching out to Trump campaign officials to gain intelligence on Russia that would ultimately justify the investigation began weeks and maybe months before the FBI had a formal predicate. And that's very important. The rules say you can't use sources until you have a predicated investigation. The predication is July 31st, 2016. My sources and documents that I'll be able to make public tomorrow will show that there were contacts going on by people identified as informers, informants, people who provided information began much, much earlier than July 31st. That's the first part. Second part is, as the investigation was just starting to ramp up, there are internal FBI documents showing FBI agents talking about the White House trying to take over the investigation, fears that the Justice Department was going to leak for political reasons, and their own personal fear.
Slow down. Yeah. When you say the White House, you mean the Obama White House?
Yes.
They were attempting to take over the investigation.
That's what these messages say. The White House is going to be in charge.
These are FBI messages.
Yes.
And we're talking about the Obama White House. How high up are we talking about here?
We don't know. The text messages are just what they are, right? They don't give a lot of detail. They're short and as you would normally see in a text message. But the words, the White House is running this, are clear in the text message, and people will be able to make up their own mind. And here's another thing that's going to be really interesting to people. You just had it in your monologue a little bit about whether President Obama was aggressive enough on Russia. The FBI agents who opened this case feared that Barack Obama was weak on national security and wouldn't do what they needed for Russia. You're going to see those messages tomorrow, and I think people will be able to see those in between those bookend events.
Page texts.
Some of them are struck page texts, some are other documents.
And there's about to be, am I wrong, a cascading flow of information when the IG report comes out. Let me bring Sarah into this part.
Yeah, 400 pages.
Right. That the IG is going to release, and it will immediately be followed up by good people in the FBI and in the intelligence community that will corroborate and confirm this was rigged, this investigation into Hillary Clinton. Sarah.
Yes, there are a number of people that are ready to speak, a number of FBI agents that are currently working in the Bureau, and other former agents who want to tell the truth about what was going on. I mean, Sean, we know what happened at the higher levels, on the 7th floor of the FBI, the highest officials, but there are so many agents within the Bureau that were disgusted by what happened. I mean, I reported over and over again, I know John has too, that agents were so angered when Comey made this decision, a decision he shouldn't have made, by the way. It should have been left up to the Department of Justice, that they literally got up from their desks in some field offices, left their offices and didn't return until the next week. Other agents were throwing food at the television at Comey. So, I mean, there are a lot of people that are ready to talk. They're ready to talk about what happened. It just depends on if Congress calls them to testify, and I think that's very important.
John?
Well, let's hope it comes out tomorrow, because you never know what takes place. Solomon stressed that the informants were making contacts with Trump officials and providing information to the FBI much, much earlier than July 31st, 2016. Then he drops the bombshell that, according to the FBI, the White House and Obama wanted to take over the whole investigation. And where it led, you saw what it said. So I'm not going to repeat it. So right here, let's just, Donald Trump tweets, AP has just reported that the Russia hoax investigation has now cost our government over $17 million and going up fast, no collusion except by the Democrats. This was from the 29th, the 13 Angry Democrats and the fake media. The failed novelist claims in the book that he learned about the FBI investigation from news reports after he left office. Gee, that is the same excuse Obama used multiple times during his presidency. Tell a lie often enough. These guys really think Americans are gullible and stupid. Rhodes is simply insulting our intelligence here. I wouldn't buy his book to use as a doorstop. No collusion between President Trump and Russia has ever been proven because it doesn't exist. The only ones gaining from this are Mueller and his team, who are getting paid a ton to try and tie the president's hands to keep him from doing his job. Taxpayers have wasted almost $17 million on the Russia probe since Mueller took over in 2017. And according to a spending report just released by the DOJ, about $10 million was spent in the 5 months between October 2017 and March 2018 alone. That includes $4.5 million in hefty salaries for Mueller's team of Trump-hating Democratic attorneys and another $5.5 million spent on random expenses. Solomon's report gives justification to President Trump to stop this nonsense. Do you think Trump should swing the hammer down hard? Yeah, we've been waiting for that, but I guess, he wants a lot of the info to come out first before he starts swinging. So, Solomon's report does not sync with what former Obama Deputy National Security Advisor Ben Rhodes wrote about the investigation in his new book, The World as It Is, which is set to be published next week by Random House. Well, duh, Rhodes is lying. That's what he is good at, and has done that from the beginning. In his book, Rhodes claims that Obama didn't know there was an FBI investigation into Trump's campaign, possible contacts with Russia until he left office. What a crock! That's just laughable. That's what I was saying. Rhodes said that neither he nor Mr. Obama knew at the time that there was an FBI investigation, according to the New York Times, which obtained an advance copy of the book way to cover your collective backsides, right? No one believes that. Sure. And not only that, Susan Rice came out with that tweet just before she was getting out of after the Trump was getting in that day, and she said that Comey and Obama met, and Comey denied meeting Obama at that. Oh, it must have slipped my mind, he said. I mean, it was he was talking about them, about the investigation, and trying to sweep everything under the rug. But Susan Rice wasn't going to go down with the ship, so she made that text to herself in order to cover her butt if need be. That's why she made that rather crazy kind of tweet to herself, Absolutely. Anyway, nobody believes that Obama didn't know. Obama had to orchestrate the whole thing. There's just no way that this could have been orchestrated without Obama's approval first. And Brennan started it with the whole investigation, collaborating with Obama. And Clapper helped out too, the other deep stater. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.